Sing after, fellows, as you hear me, a toy that seldom is seen.
Sing after, fellows, as you hear me, a toy that seldom is seen.
3 country dances in one to be, a pretty conceit as I ween.
3 country dances in one to be, a pretty conceit as I ween.
Sing after, fellows, as you hear me, a toy that seldom is seen. Sing after, fellows, as you hear me, a toy that seldom is seen. 3
in a red petticoat and a green jacket, a white hose and a green. In a red petticoat and a green jacket, a white hose and a green. Follow the master and join in the round, come dance before the queen. Follow the master and join in the round, come dance before the queen. 3 in a red petticoat and a green jacket, a white hose and a green. 3 in a red petticoat and a green jacket, a white hose and a green.
The cramp
the master and join in the round,
no money will find therein. And if I had
and join in the round,
oh, lightly then would I sing.
In a red petticoat and a green
Hey,
jacket, a white
ho, the
hose
cramp.
and a green.
Hey, ho,
In a red petticoat and a green jacket, a white hose and a green.
The crampa.
We be 3 poor mariners newly come from the seas. We spend our lives in jeopardy while others live at ease. Shall we go dance the round, the round, the round? And shall we go dance the round, the round, the round? And he that is a bully boy, come pledge me on the ground, the ground, the ground. We care not for those martial types who do our states disdain, but we care for those merchant men which do our states maintain. To them we dance this round, the round, the round. To them we dance the round, around, around. And he that is a bully boy, come pledge me on the ground, the ground, the ground. Here, master! What ye heard? Speak to the mariners! Take in the topsail! Tend to my whistle! Fall to it yearly, or we run ourselves aground! Bestir! Bestir!
Oh, blow till thou burst thy wind, if room enough! Play my hearts! Cheerly, cheerly my hearts! Yeah, yeah!
Good boatswain, have care! Where's the master?
I pray now, keep below!
Where is the master, boatswain?
Do you not hear him?
You mar our labour! Keep your cabins! You do assist the storm!
Nay, good, be patient!
When the sea is hence, what cares these roarers for the name of king?
To cabin! Silence! Trouble us not!
Good, yet remember whom thou hast aboard!
None that I more love than myself! You are a counsellor! If you can command these elements to silence and work the peace of the present, we will not hand a rope more! Use your authority! If you cannot, give thanks you have lived so long, and make yourself ready in your cabin for the mischance of the hour, if it so hap. Cheerly, good hearts! Out of our way, I say!
I have great comfort from this fellow. Methinks he hath no drowning mark upon him. His complexion is perfect gallows. Stand fast, good fate, to his hanging.
Down with the topmast! Yea, bring her to try with main course!
Plague upon this howling! They are louder than the weather or our office!
Yet again! What do you here?
Shall we give her and drown? Have you a mind to sing?
Pox to your throats, you bawling, blasphemous, incharitable dog!
Work you then!
Hang, hang, you hoarse and insolent noisemaker! We are less afraid to be drowned than thou art!
All lost! To prayers, all lost!
What must our mouths be called?
King and prince at prayers. Let's assist them, for our case is as theirs.
I'm out of patience! We are merely cheated of our lives by drunkards!
We split!
Let's all sink with the king!
Now would I give 1,000 furlongs of sea for an acre of barren ground, long heath, brown furs, anything. The wills above be done, but I would fain die a dry death.
If by your art, my dearest father, you've put the wild waters in this roar, allay them. The sky, it seems, would pour down stinking pitch, but that the sea, mounting to the welkin's cheek, dashes the fire out. Oh, I have suffered with those that I saw suffer. A brave vessel who had, no doubt, some noble creature in her, dashed all to pieces. Oh, the cry did knock against my very heart. Poor souls, they perished. Had I been any god of power, I would have sunk the sea within the earth, or ere it should the good ship so have swallowed, and the fraughting souls within her.
Be collected, no more amazement. Tell your piteous heart there's no harm done.
Oh, woe the day!
No harm. I have done nothing but in care of thee, my dear one, thee, my daughter, who art ignorant of what thou art, and not knowing of whence I am, nor that I am more better than Prospero, master of a full poor cell, and thy no greater father.
More to know did never meddle with my thoughts.
'Tis time I should inform thee, father. Lend thy hand, and pluck my magic garment from me. So. Lie there, my heart. Wipe thou thine eyes, have comfort. The direful spectacle of the wreck, which touched the very virtue of compassion in thee, I have with such provision in mine art, so safely ordered that there is no soul, not so much perdition as an hair, betid to any creature in the vessel which thou heardst cry, which thou sawest sink. Sit down, for thou must now know further.
You've often begun to tell me what I am, but stopped and left me to a bootless inquisition, concluding, stay, not yet.
The hour's now come. Obey and be attentive. Canst thou remember a time before we came unto this cell? I do not think thou canst, for then thou wast not out 3 years old.
Certainly, sir, I can.
By what? By any other house or person? Nor of any thing the image tell me that hath kept with thy remembrance?
'Tis far off, and rather like a dream than an assurance that my remembrance warrants. Had I not 4 or 5 women once that tended me?
Thou hadst, and more, Miranda. But how is it that this lives in thy mind? What seest thou else in the dark, backward and abysm of time? If thou rememberest aught ere thou camest here, how thou camest here thou mayst.
But that I do not.
12 years since, Miranda, 12 years since, thy father was the Duke of Milan and the Prince of Power.
Sir, not you, my father.
Thy mother was a piece of virtue, and she said, thou wast my daughter. And thy father was Duke of Milan, and his only heir, a princess, no worse issued.
Oh, the heavens! What foul play had we that we came from thence? Or blessed was we did?
Both, my girl. By foul play, as thou sayest, were we heaved thence, but blessedly halt hither.
Oh, my heart bleeds to think of the team that I've turned you to, which is from my remembrance. Please you, further.
My brother and thy uncle, called Antonio, I pray thee, mark me, that a brother should be so perfidious, he whom next thyself of all the world I loved, and to him put the manage of my state, as at that time through all the signories it was the first, and Prospero the prime duke, being so reputed in dignity, and for the liberal arts without a parallel. Those being all my study, the government I cast upon my brother, and to my state grew stranger, being transported and wrapped in secret studies. Thy false uncle, dost thou attend me?
Sir, most heedfully.
Being once perfected how to grant suits, how to deny them, who to advance and who to trash for overtopping, new created the creatures that were mine. Thou attend'st not.
Oh, good sir, I do.
I pray thee, mark me. I, thus neglecting worldly ends, all dedicated to closeness and the bettering of my mind, but by being so retired in my false brother awaked an evil nature, and my trust, like a good parent, did beget of him a falsehood in its contrary, as great as my trust was. He, being thus lauded, made such a sinner of his memory to credit his own lie. He did believe he was indeed the Duke, out of the substitution, and executing the outward face of royalty with all prerogative, hence his ambition growing. Dost thou hear?
Your tale, sir, would cure deafness.
Have no screen between this part he played and him he played it for. He needs must be absolute, Milan. Me, poor man, my library was dukedom large enough. Of temporal royalties he thinks me now incapable. Confederates, so dry he was persuaded with the King of Naples to do him annual tribute, pay him homage, subject his coronet to his crown, and bend the dukedom yet unbowed. Alas, poor Milan, to most ignoble stooping.
Oh, the heavens!
Mark his condition and the event, then tell me if this might be a brother.
I should sin to think but nobly of my grandmother. Good wombs have borne bad sons.
Now, the condition. This King of Naples, being an enemy to me, inveterate, hearkens my brother's suit, which was that he, in lieu of the premises of homage and I know not how much tribute, should presently extirpate me and mine out of the dukedom, and confer fair Milan with all the honours on my brother. Whereon a treacherous army levied one midnight, fated to the purpose, did Antonio open the gates of Milan, and in the dead of darkness the ministers for the purpose hurried thence me and thy crying self.
Alack for pity! I, not remembering how I cried out then, will cry it o'er again.
Here, a little farther, and then I'll bring thee to the present business which now is upon us.
Wherefore did they not that hour destroy us?
Dear, they durst not. In few, they hurried us aboard a bark, bore us some leagues to sea, where they prepared a rotten carcass of a butt, not rigged, nor tackled sail, nor mast. The very rats instinctively had quit it. There they hoist us to cry to the sea.
Alack, what trouble was I then to you?
Oh, a cherubim thou wast that did preserve me. Thou didst smile infused with a fortitude from heaven.
How came we ashore?
By providence divine, some food we had and some fresh water that a noble Neapolitan, Gonzalo, master of this design, did give us, with rich garments, linens, stuffs, and necessaries, which since have steadied much. So of his gentleness, knowing I loved my books, he furnished me from mine own library with volumes that I prize above my dukedom.
Would I might but ever see that man.
Now I arise, sit still, and hear the last of our sea sorrow. Here, in this island, we arrived, and here have I, thy schoolmaster, made thee more profit than other princes can, to have more time for vainer hours and tutors not so careful.
Heavens thank you for it. And now I pray you, sir, for still 'Tis beating in my mind your reason for raising this sea storm.
No, thus far forth. By accident, most strange, bountiful fortune, now my dear lady hath mine enemies brought to this shore. And by my prescience, I find my zenith doth depend upon a most auspicious star, whose influence, if now I court not but omit, my fortune shall ever after droop. Here, cease more questions. Thou art inclined to sleep. 'Tis a good dullness. Give it way. I know thou canst not choose. Come away, servant, come. I am ready now. Approach my Ariel. Come.
All hail, great master. Grave sir, hail. I come to answer thy best pleasure, be it to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the curled clouds. To thy strong bidding, task Ariel and all his quality.
Hast thou, spirit, performed to point the tempest that I bade thee?
To every article. I boarded the king's ship. Now, on the beak, now in the waist, the deck, in every cabin, I flamed amazement. Sometime I divide and burn in many places. On the topmast, the yards, and the bowsprit would I flame distinctly, then meet and join. Jove's lightning, the precursors of the dreadful thunderclaps, more momentary and sight outrunning, were not. The fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring, the most mighty Neptune seemed to besiege and make his bold waves tremble, yea, his dread trident shake.
My brave spirit, who was so firm, so constant that this coil would not infect his reason?
Not a soul but felt a fever of the mad and played some tricks of desperation. All but mariners plunged in the foaming brine and quit the vessel, then all afire with me. The king's son, Ferdinand, with hair upstaring, then like reeds, not hair, was the first man that leapt, cried, "Hell is empty, and all the devils are here!"
Why, that's my spirit. But are they, Ariel, safe?
Not a hair perished. On their sustaining garments, not a blemish, but fresher than before. And as thou badst me, in troops I have dispersed them about the isle. The king's son have I landed by himself, whom I left cooling of the air with sighs, in an odd angle of the isle, his arms in this sad knot.
Of the king's ship, the mariners, say how thou hast disposed, and all the rest of the fleet.
Safely in harbour is the king's ship, and in that nook she's hid. The mariners, all under hatches stowed, I have left asleep. And for the rest of the fleet, which I have dispersed, they all have met again, and are upon the Mediterranean float, bound sadly home for Naples, supposing that they saw the king's ship wrecked, and his great person perish.
Ariel, thy charge exactly is performed, but there's more work. What is the time of the day?
Past the mid-season.
At least 2 glasses. The time twixt 6 and now must by us both be spent most preciously.
Is there more toil? Since thou dost give me pains, let me remember thee what thou hast promised, which has not yet performed me.
How now? Moody, what hast thou canst demand?
My liberty!
Before the time be out, no more.
I prithee remember I have done thee worthy service, without or grudge or grumblings. Thou didst promise to bait me a full year.
Dost thou forget from what a torment I did free thee?
No.
Thou liest, malignant thing. Hast thou forgot the foul witch, Sycorax? Hast thou forgot her?
No, sir.
Thou hast. Where was she born? Speak. Tell me.
Sir, in Algiers.
Oh, was she so? Thou must, once in a month, recount what thou hast been, which thou forgett'st. This foul witch, Sycorax, for mischiefs manifold and sorceries terrible, thou know'st, was banished. For one thing she did, they would not take her life. Is not this true?
Aye, sir.
This blue-eyed hag was hither brought with child, and here was left by the sailors. Now, my slave, as thou reportst thyself, was then her servant, for thou wast the spirit too delicate to act her earthy and abhorred commands. Refusing her grand hests, she did confine thee into a cloven pine, within which rift imprisoned thou didst painfully remain a dozen years, within which space she died and left thee there. Then was this island, save for the son that she did litter here, a freckled whelp, hag-born, not honoured with a human shame.
Yes, Caliban, her son.
Dull thing, I say so. He, that Caliban whom now I keep in service. Thou best know'st what torments I did find thee in. Thy groans did make wolves howl. It was a torment to lay upon the damned that Sycorax could not again undo. It was mine art, when I arrived and heard thee, that made gape the pine and let thee out.
I thank thee, master.
If thou more murmurest, I will rend an oak and peg thee in his knotty entrails till thou hast howled away 12 winters.
Pardon, master. I will be correspondent to command and do my spiriting gently.
Do so. And after 2 days I shall discharge thee.
That's my noble master. Oh, what shall I do? Say what shall I do?
Go, make thyself like a nymph of the sea. Be subject to no sight but thine and mine, invisible to every eyeball else. Hearken thine ear.
It shall be done.
Go, hence, with diligence. Awake, dear heart, awake. Thou hast slept well. Awake.
The strangeness of your story put heaviness in me.
Shake it off. Come on. We'll visit Caliban, my slave, who never yields us kind answer.
'Tis a villain, sir, I do not love to look on.
But as 'tis, we cannot miss him. He does make our fire, fetch in our fuel, and serves in offices that profit us. What ho, slave? Caliban, thou earth, thou speak.
There's wood enough within.
Come forth, I say, there's other business for thee. Thou, poisonous slave, got by the devil himself upon thy wicked dam, come forth.
As wicked you as ere my mother brushed with raven's feather from unwholesome fen, drop on you both, a southwest blow on ye, and blister you all over.
For this, be sure tonight thou shalt have cramps.
This island's mine, by Sycorax my mother, which thou takest from me. When thou camest first, thou strokest me, and made much of me. Wouldst give me water with berries in't, and teach me how to name the bigger light, and how the less that burn by day and night. And then I loved thee, and showed thee all the qualities of the isle, the fresh springs, brine pits, barren place, and fertile. Cursed be I that did so! All the charms of Sycorax, toads, beetles, bats, light on you, for I am all the subjects that you have, which first was mine own king. And here you sty me in this hard rock, whilst you do keep from me the rest of the island.
Thou most lying slave, whom stripes may move, not kindness. I have used thee, filth as thou art, with humane care, and lodged thee in mine own cell, till thou didst seek to violate the honour of my child.
Oh, would it had been done! Thou didst prevent me. I had peopled else this isle with Calibans.
Horrid slave, which any print of goodness wilt not take, being capable of all ill. I pitied thee, took pains to make thee speak, taught thee each hour one thing or other, when thou didst not, savage, know thine own meaning, but wouldst gabble most brutally. I endowed thy purposes with words that made them known, but thy vile race, though thou didst learn, had that int which good natures could not abide to be with. Therefore wast you deservedly confined into this rock, who hadst deserved more than a prison.
You taught me language, And my profit on't is, I know how to curse. The Red Plague rid you for learning me a language!
Hagseed, hence, fetch in fuel, and be quick. Sucks, thou, malice, if thou neglect, put us unwillingly when I come out, I'll rack thee with old cramps, fill all thy bones with aches, make thee raw, that beast shall tremble at thy din.
No, pray thee! I must obey. His art is of such power, it would control my damn's god Setebus and make a vassal of him.
Thou slave, hence.
Where should this music be? In the air? Or the earth? It sounds no more, and sure it waits upon some god of the island, sitting on a bank, weeping again the king my father's wreck. This music crept by me upon the waters, allaying both their fury and my passion with its sweet air. Thence I have followed it, or it hath drawn me, rather. But 'tis gone.
Full fathom five.
No, it begins again.
Father lies, of his bones are coral made. Those are pearls that were his eyes. Nothing of him that doth fade, but doth suffer a sea change into something rich and strange. Sea nymphs hourly ring his knell. Hark, now I hear them. Hark, now I hear them. Ding dong bell.
The ditty does remember my drowned father. This is no mortal business, nor no sound that the earth owes.
Ding dong, ding.
I hear it now above me.
Ding dong, bell.
The fringed curtains of thine eye, advance, and say what thou seest yond.
What is't? A spirit? Oh, Lord, how it looks about! Believe me, sir, it carries a brave form, but 'tis a spirit.
No wench, it eats and sleeps and hath such senses as we have, such that this gallant which thou seest was in the wreck, and but he's something stained with grief, that's beauty's canker. Thou mightst call him a goodly person. He hath lost his fellows and strays about to find them.
I might call him a thing divine, for nothing natural I ever saw so noble.
It goes on, I see, as my soul prompts it. Spirit, fine spirit, I'll free thee within 2 days for this.
Most sure, the goddess on whom these airs attend. Vouchsafe my prayer may know if you remain upon this island, and that you will some good instruction give how I may bear me here. My prime request, which I do last pronounce, is, oh, you wonder, if you be maid or no.
No wonder, sir, but certainly a maid.
My language! Heavens, I am the best of them that speak this speech were I but where 'tis spoken.
How? The best? What word how if the King of Naples heard thee?
A single thing as I am now, that wonders to hear thee speak of Naples. He does hear me, and that he does I weep. Myself am Naples, who with mine eyes never since I had beheld the king, my father wrecked.
Alack for mercy!
Yes, faith in all his lords.
At the first sight they have changed eyes. Delicate Ariel, I'll set thee free for this. A word, good sir. I fear you have done yourself some wrong. A word?
Why speaks my father so ungently? This is the third man that e'er I saw, the first that e'er I sighed for. Pity move my father to be inclined my way.
Oh, if a virgin, and your affection not gone forth, I'll make you the Queen of Naples.
Soft, sir, one word more. They are both in either's powers. But this swift business I must uneasy make, lest too light winning make the prize light. One word more. I charge thee that thou attend me. Thou dost here usurp the name thou owest not, and have put thyself upon this island as a spy to win it from me, the Lord on.
No, as I am a man.
There's nothing ill can dwell in such a temple. If the ill spirit have so fair a house, good things will strive to dwell with it.
Follow me. Speak not you for him. He's a traitor. Come. I'll manacle thy neck and feet together.
No! I will resist such entertainment till mine enemy has more power.
Oh, dear father, make not too rash a trial of him, for he's gentle and not fearful.
What I say, my foot, my tutor? Put thy sword up, traitor, who makes to show but darest not strike. For I can here disarm thee with this stick and make thy weapon drop.
Beseech you, father!
Hence hang not on my garments.
Sir, have pity, I'll be his surety.
Silence! One word more shall make me chide thee, if not hate thee. What? Thou think'st there is no more such shapes as he, having seen but him and Caliban, foolish wench, to the most of men. This is a Caliban, and they to him are angels.
My affections are then most humble, that I have no ambition to see a goodlier man.
Come on, obey. Thy nerves are in their infancy again, have no vigour in them.
So they are. My spirits as in a dream are all bound up. My father's loss, the weakness which I feel, the wreck of all my friends, nor this man's threats to whom I am subdued, are but light to me, and might I but through my prison once a day behold this maid. All corners else of the earth, let liberty make use of. Space enough have I in such a prison.
It works. Follow me. Thou hast done well, fine Ariel. Come on. Mark what else thou shalt do me.
Have comfort. My father's of a better nature, sir, than he appears by speech. This is unwonted which now came from him.
Thou shalt be as free as mountain winds, but then exactly to all points of my command.
To the syllable.
Come, follow. Speak not for him.
Full fathom 5, thy father lies. Of his bones are coral made, those are pearls that were his eyes. Nothing of him that doth fade, but doth suffer a sea change into something rich and strange. Sea nymphs hourly ring his knell. Hark, now I hear them. Hark, now I hear them. Ding dong bell. Ding dong bell. Ding dong bell. Ding dong bell.
Beseech you, sir, be merry. You have cause, so have we all, of joy. For our escape is much beyond our loss. Our hint of woe is common. Every day some sailor's wife, the masters of some merchant, and the merchant have just our theme of woe. But for the miracle, I mean our preservation, few in millions can speak like us. Then, wisely, good sir, weigh our sorrow with our comfort.
Prithee, peace.
He receives comfort like cold porridge.
The visitor will not give him our so.
Look, he's winding up the watch of his wit. By and by it will strike.
Sir,
One, tell.
when every grief is entertained that's offered, comes to the entertainer
$1?
$1 comes to him. Indeed, you have spoken truer than you purposed.
You have taken it wiselier than I meant you should.
Therefore, my lord,
I prithee spare.
well, I have done. But though this island seemed to be desert, uninhabitable, and almost inaccessible,
Yet
He could not miss it.
here is everything advantageous to life.
True. Save means to live.
of that there's none or little.
How lush and lusty the grass looks. How green.
He misses not much.
No, he doth but mistake the truth totally.
But the rarity of it is, which is indeed almost beyond credit,
As many vouched rarities are,
that our garments, being as they were drenched in the sea, hold, notwithstanding, their freshness and gloss, being rather new dyed than stained with salt water. Methinks our garments are now as fresh as when we were in Africa, at the marriage of the king's fair daughter Claribel to the king of Tunis.
'twas a sweet marriage, and we prosper well in our return.
Tunis was never graced with such a paragon to their queen, not since Widow Dido's time.
Widow Dido, said you? She was of Carthage, not of Tunis.
This Tunis, sir, was Carthage.
Carthage?
I assure you, Carthage. Sir, I was saying that our garments seem now as fresh as when we were in Tunis, at the marriage of your daughter, who is now queen. Is not, sir, my doublet as fresh as the first day I wore it? I'm in a sort of strange...
You cram these words into mine ears against the stomach of my sense. Would I had never married my daughter there, for coming thence, my son is lost, and in my rage she too, who is so far from Italy removed, I ne'er again shall see her. O thou mine heir of Naples and of Milan, what strange fish hath made his meal on thee?
Sir, he may live. I saw him beat the surges under him. Above the contentious waves he kept, and oared himself with his good arms in lusty stroke. He came alive to land.
No, he's gone.
Sir, you may thank yourself for this great loss that would not bless our Europe with your daughter, but rather lose her to an African, where she at least is banished from your eye, who hath cause to wet the grief on.
Prithee, peace.
You were nil to and importuned otherwise by all of us, and the fair soul herself weighed between loathness and obedience, at which end of the beam should bow. We have lost your son, I fear forever. Milan and Naples have more widows in them of this business making than we bring men to comfort them. The fault's your own.
So is the dearest of the lost.
My lord Sebastian, the truth you speak doth lack some gentleness and time to speak it in. You rub the sore when you should bring the plaster.
Very well.
It is foul weather in us all, good sir, when you are cloudy.
Foul weather.
Very foul.
Had I plantation of this isle, my lord, and were the king on't, what would I do?
Escape being drunk for want of wine.
In the Commonwealth, I would, by contraries, execute all things. For no kind of traffic would I admit, no name of magistrate, letters should not be known, riches, poverty, and use of service, none. Contract, succession, born, bound of land, tilth, vineyard, none. No use of metal, corn, or wine, or oil, no occupation, all men idle, all, and women too, but innocent and pure, no sovereignty.
Yet he would be king of.
The latter end of his commonwealth forgets the beginning.
All things in common nature should produce without sweat or endeavour. Treason, felony, sword, pike, knife, gun, or need of any engine would I not have, but nature should bring forth of its own kind all poison, all abundance to feed my innocent people. I would with such perfection govern, sir, to excel the golden age.
Save his majesty!
Long live Gonzalo!
Do you mark me, sir?
Prithee, no more. Thou dost talk nothing to me.
I do well believe, your highness, and did it to minister occasion to these gentlemen who are of such sensible and nimble lungs, they always used to laugh at nothing.
'Twas you we laughed at.
Who, in this kind of merry fooling, am nothing to you. So you may continue and laugh at nothing still.
What a blow was there given!
He had not fallen flat long.
You are gentlemen of brave metal!
Nay, good, my lord, be not angry.
No, I warrant you. I will not adventure my discretion so weakly. Will you laugh me asleep? For I am very heavy.
Go sleep and hear us.
Oh, now, so soon asleep? I wish mine eyes would, with my thoughts, shut up my senses. I find they are inclined to do so.
Please you, sir, do not omit the heavy offer of it. It seldom visits sorrow, when it doth, it is a comforter.
We too, my lord, will guard your person while you take your rest and watch your safety.
Thank you. Wondrous heavy.
What a strange drowsiness possesses them.
It's the quality of the climate.
Why doth it not then our eyelids sink? I find not myself disposed to sleep.
Nor I. My spirits are nimble. They dropped us by a thunderstroke. What might, worthy Sebastian, oh, what might. No more. And yet, methinks I see it in thy face what thou shouldst be. The occasion speaks thee, and my strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon thy head.
What art thou waking?
Do you not hear me speak?
I do, and surely it is a sleepy language, and thou speakst out of thy sleep.
Noble Sebastian, thou lett'st thy fortune sleep, die, rather, winkst whilst thou art waking.
Thou dost snore distinctly. There's meaning in thy snores.
I am more serious than my custom. You must be so too, if heed me, which to do trebles thee o'er.
Prithee, say on. The setting of thine eye and cheek proclaim a matter from thee, and a birth, indeed, which throws thee much to yield.
Thus, sir, although this lord of weak remembrance, this who shall be of as little memory when he is earthed, hath he almost persuaded, for he is a spirit of persuasion, only professes to persuade the king his son's alive. 'Tis as impossible that he's undrowned as he that sleeps here swims.
I have no hope that he's undrowned.
Oh, out of that no hope, what great hope have you? No hope that way is another way so high a hope that even ambition cannot pierce a wink beyond, but doubt discovery there. Will you grant with me that Ferdinand is drowned?
He's gone.
Then tell me, who is the next heir of Naples?
Clarabel.
She that is Queen of Tunis. She that dwells 10 leagues beyond man's life. She that from Naples can have no note, unless the sun were post. The man in the moon's too slow. She that from whom we all were sea-swallowed, though some cast again. And by that destiny to perform an act whereof what's past is prologue. What to come in yours and my discharge.
What stuff is this? How say you? 'Tis true, my brother's daughter's queen of Tunis, so is she heir of Naples, twixt which regions there is some space.
A space whose every cubit seems to cry out. How shall that Clarabel measure us back to Naples? Keep in Tunis and let Sebastian wake. Say this were death that now hath seized them. Why? They were no worse than now they are. There be that can rule Naples as well as he that sleeps. Oh, that you bore the mind that I do. What a sleep were this for your advancement. Do you understand me?
Methinks I do.
Then how does your content tend to your own good fortune?
I remember you did supplant your brother Prospero.
True. And look how well my garments sit upon me, much feater than before. My brother's servants were then my fellows, now they are my men.
But for your conscience.
Aye, sir. Where lies that? If 'twere a kibe, 'twould put me to my slipper. But I feel not this deity in my bosom. 20 consciences that stand twixt me and Milan, candied be they, and melt ere they molest. Here lies your brother, no better than the earth he lies upon. If he were that, which now he's like, that's dead, whom I with this obedient steel, 3 inches of it, can lay to bed forever. Whilst you doing thus, to the perpetual wink for eye might put this ancient morsel, this Sir Prudence, who should not upbraid our course. For all the rest, they'll tell the clock to any business that we say befits the hour.
Thy case, dear friend, shall be my precedent. As thou gott's Milan, I'll come by Naples. Draw thy sword. One stroke shall free thee from thy tribute, and I, the king, shall love thee.
Draw together. When I rear my hand, do you the like. To fall it on Gonzalo.
No, but one word.
My master, through his art, foresees the danger that you, his friend, are in, and sends me forth, or else his project dies, to keep them living. While you here do snoring lie, open-eyed conspiracy his time doth take. If of life you keep a care, shake off slumber and beware. Awake, awake.
Then let us both be sudden.
No! Good angel, preserve the king!
Why now? Ho! Awake! Why are you drawn? Wherefore this ghastly looking?
What's the matter?
Whilst we stood here securing your repose, even now we heard a hollow burst of bellowing like bulls, or rather lions. Did it awake you? Oh, it struck mine ear most terribly.
I heard nothing.
No, 'twas a din to fright monsters here, to make an earthquake. Sure, it was the roar of the whole herd of lions.
Heard you this, Gonzalo?
Upon mine honour, sir, I heard a humming, and that a strange one too, which did awake me. As mine eyes opened, I saw their weapons drawn. There was a noise, that's verily. 'Tis best we stand upon our guard, or that we quit this place.
Let's make further search for my poor son.
Heavens keep him from these beasts, for he is sure in the island.
Prospero, my lord, shall know what I have done. So, king, go safely on to seek thy son.
All the infections that the sun sucks up from bogs, fens, flats on Prosper fall, and make him by inchmeal a disease. His spirits hear me, and yet I needs must curse. But they'll no pinch, fright me with urchin shows, pitch me i' the mire, nor lead me like a firebrand in the dark out of my way, unless he bid 'em. But for every trifle are they set upon me. Sometime like apes that mow and chatter at me and after bite me. Then like hedgehogs which lie tumbling in my barefoot way and mount their pricks at my footfall. Sometime am I all wound with adders who with cloven tongue do hiss me into madness. Lo, now lo. Here comes a spirit of his, and to torment me for bringing wood in slowly. I will fall flat, perchance he will not mind me.
It's neither bush nor shrub to bear off any weather at all. And another storm brewing. I hear it sing i' the wind. Yond same cloud, yond huge one, looks like a foul bombard that would shed his liquor. If it should rain like it did before, I know not where to hide my head. Yond cloud cannot choose but fall by pale fools. What have we here? A man or a fish? Dead or alive? Oh, a fish! It smells like a fish. A very ancient and fish-like smell. A kind of not the newest Poor John. A strange fish. Were I in England now, as once I was, and had but this fish painted, not a holiday fool there but would give a piece of silver. When they will not lay out a doit to relieve a lame beggar, they will sell out 10 to see a dead Indian. Legs like a man, and fins like arms. Warm. Oh, my troth! Oh, I do now let loose my opinion. Hold it no longer. This is no fish, but an islander that hath lately suffered by a thunderstroke. Oh, alas, the storm is come again. My best way is to creep under his gabardine. There is no other shelter hereabouts. Misery acquaints a man with strange bedfellows. I will ear shroud until the dregs of the storm be past.
Shall no more to see, here shall I die ashore. This is a very scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral. Well, here's my comfort. The master, the swabber, the boatswain and I, the gunner and his mate, loved Moll, Meg and Marion and Marjorie, but none of us cared for Kate, for she had a tongue with a tang, would cry to a sailor, "Go hang!" She loved not the savour of tar nor of pitch, yet a tailor might scratch her where'er she did itch. Then to sea, boys, and let her go hang. This is a very scurvy tune too. Well, here's my comfort.
Do not torment me!
Are we devils here? Do you put tricks upon with savages and men of Ind? Huh? I have not escaped drowning to be afeard now of your forelegs! This is some monster in the isle who has got, as I take it, an ague. If I can recover him and keep him tame and get to Naples with him, he's a present for any emperor that ever trod on neat's leather.
Oh, do not torment me, prithee. I'll bring my wood up faster.
He's in his fit now, and does not talk after the wisest. He shall taste of my bottle. If he have never drunk wine afore, it will go near to remove his fit.
Oh, thou dost me yet but little hurt. Ah, thou wilt anon, I know it by thy trembling.
Come on your ways. Open your mouth. Ah! Here is that which will give language to you, cat. This will shake your shaking. You cannot tell who's your friend. Open your chops again.
I should know that voice. He should be. But he is drowned, and these are devils. I'll defend me!
4 legs, 2 voices. A most delicate monster. His forward voice is to speak well of his friend. His backward voice is to utter foul speeches and to detract. I will help his ague.
Stephano!
Doth thy other mouth call me? Mercy, mercy! This is a devil, and no monster! I will leave him. I have no long spoon.
Stephano! Stephano! If thou be Stephano, touch me and speak to me, for I am Trinculo. Be not afeard, thy good friend Trinculo.
If thou beest Trinculo, come forth. I'll pull thee by the lesser legs. Thou art very Trinculo indeed. How camest thou to be the siege of this moon calf? Can he vent Trinculos?
I took him to be killed by a thunderstroke and hid me under the dead moon calf's gabardine. But art thou living, Stephano? Oh, Stephano! 2 Neapolitan scum!
Prithee! Do not turn me about. My stomach is not constant.
These be fine things, and if they be not sprites, that's a brave god, and bears celestial liquor. I will kneel to him.
How didst thou escape? I escaped upon a butt of sack, which the sailors heaved overboard. By this bottle.
I swam ashore, man, like a duck. I can't swim like a duck, I'll be swum.
Here, kiss the book. Though thou canst swim like a duck, thou art made like a goose.
Oh, Stephano! Hast any more of this?
The whole butt, man. My cellar is in a rock by the seaside. How now, moon calf? How does thine ague?
Hast thou not dropped from heaven?
Out of the moon, I do assure thee. I was the man in the moon when time was.
I have seen thee in her, and I do adore thee.
Come, swear to that. Kiss the book. I will furnish it anon with new contents. Swear!
I will show thee every fertile inch of the island, and I shall kiss thy foot. I prithee, be my god!
By this light,
A most perfidious and drunken monster. When God's asleep, he'll rob his bottle.
I will swear myself thy subject.
Come on then, down and swear.
I could find it in my heart to beat him.
Come on, kiss!
But the poor monster's in drink.
I'll show thee the best springs. I'll pluck thee berries. I'll fish for thee and get thee wood enough. A plague upon the tyrant that I serve. I'll bear him no more sticks, but follow thee, thou wondrous man. I prithee, let me bring thee where crabs grow, and I with my long nails will dig thee pig nuts, show thee a jay's nest, and instruct thee how to snare the nimble marmoset. I'll bring thee to clustering filberts, and sometimes I'll get thee young scammels from the rock. Wilt thou go with me?
I prithee now, lead the way without any more talking. The king and all our company, else being drowned, we will inherit here. Come. Bear my bottle. Fellow Trinculo, we'll fill him by and by again.
Farewell, master, farewell, farewell!
Howling drunken monster.
No more dams I'll make for fish, no fetching, firing, at requiring, no scrape trencher, nor wash dish. Ban, Caliban has a new master, get a new man. Freedom! High day, freedom!
Oh, brave monster! Lead the way! There be some sports are painful, and their labour delight in them sets off. Some kinds of baseness are nobly undergone, and most poor matters point to rich ends. This, my mean task, would be as heavy to me as odious, but the mistress which I serve quickens what's dead, and makes my labours pleasures. Oh, she is 10 times more gentle than her father's, crabbed, and he's composed of harshness. I must remove some thousands of these logs and pile them up upon a sword in junction. My sweet mistress weeps when she sees me work, and says such baseness had never like executor. Oh, I forget. But these sweet thoughts do even refresh my labours most busiliest when I do it.
Alas now, pray you work not so hard. I with the lightning had burnt up those logs you're enjoined to pile. Pray set it down and rest you. When this burns, 'twill weep for having wearied you. My father's hard at study. Pray now rest yourself. He's safe for these 3 hours.
Oh, most dear mistress, the sun will set before I shall discharge what I must strive to do.
If you'll sit down, I'll bear your logs the while. Pray give me that. I'll carry it to the pile.
No, precious creature. I had rather crack my sinews, break my back, than you should such dishonour undergo while I sit lazy by.
It would become me as well as it does you. And I should do it with much more ease. For my goodwill is to it, and yours it is against.
Oh, thou art infected. This visitation shows it.
You look wearily.
No. Noble mistress, 'tis fresh morning with me when you are by at night. I do beseech you, chiefly that I might set it in my prayers. What is your name?
Miranda. Oh, my father, I have broke your hest to say so.
Admired Miranda. Indeed, the very top of admiration, worth what's dearest to the world. For several virtues have I liked, several women. Never any with so full soul, but some defect in her did quarrel with the noblest grace she owed and put it to the foil. But you, oh you, so perfect and so peerless, are created of every creature's best.
I do not know one of my sex. No woman's face remember save from my glass mine own. Nor have I seen more that I may call men than you, good friend and my dear father. How features are abroad, I'm skillless of. But by my modesty, the jewel in my dower, I would not wish any companion in the world but you, nor can imagination form a shape besides yourself to like of. But I prattle something too wildly, and my father's precepts I therein do forget.
I am in my condition a prince, Miranda. I do think a king. I would not so. I would no more endure this wooden slavery than to suffer the flesh fly blow my mouth. Hear my soul speak. The very instant that I saw you did my heart fly to your service. There resides to make me slave to it. And for your sake am I this patient logman.
Do you love me?
Oh heaven! Oh earth! Bear witness to this sound, and crown what I profess with kind event if I speak true. If, hollowly, invert what best is boded me to mischief. I, beyond all limit of what else in the world do love, prize, honour you.
I'm a fool to weep at what I'm glad of.
Fair encounter of two most rare affections. Heavens rain grace on that which breeds between us.
Wherefore weep you?
At mine unworthiness that dare not offer what I desire to give, and much less take what I shall die to want. Hence bashful cunning, and prompt me plain and holy innocence. I am your wife, if you will marry me. If not, I'll die your maid. To be your fellow, you may deny me, but I'll be your servant, whether you will or no.
My mistress dearest, and I thus humble ever.
My husband, then?
Aye, with a heart as willing as bondage air of freedom. Here's my hand.
And mine, with my heart in't. And now farewell, till half an hour hence.
1,000.
So glad of this as they, I cannot be, who are surprised withal. But my rejoicing at nothing can be more. I'll to my book, for I must yet ere supper time perform much business appertaining.
Tell not me. When the butt is out, we will drink water, not a drop before. Therefore, bear up and board 'em! Servant monster, drink to me.
Servant monster, the folly of this island. They say there's but 5 on this isle. We be 3 of them. If the other 2 be brain like us, the state totters.
Mooncalf! Speak once in thy life if thou beest a good mooncalf.
How does thy honour? Let me lick thy shoe. I'll not serve him. He's not valiant.
Thou liest, most ignorant monster. I'm in case to jostle a constable. Wilt thou tell a monstrous lie, being but half a fish and half a monster?
Lo, how he mocks me. Wilt thou let him, my lord?
Lord, quoth he, that a monster should be such a natural.
Trinculo, keep a good tongue in thy head. If you prove a mutineer, the next tree. The poor monster's my subject, and he shall not suffer indignity.
I thank my noble lord. Wilt thou be pleased to hearken once again to the suit I made to thee?
Marry, will I? Kneel and repeat it. I will stand, and so shall Trinculo.
I am subject to a tyrant, a sorcerer, that by his cunning hath cheated me in the island.
Thou liest!
Thou liest, thou jesting monkey, thou! I would my valiant master would destroy thee! I do not lie!
Trinculo, if you trouble him any more in his tale, by this hand I will supplant some of your teeth!
Well, I said nothing.
Mum then, and no more. Proceed.
I say, by sorcery he got this isle. From me he got it. If Thy greatness will revenge it on him, for I know thou darest, but this thing dare not.
That's most certain.
Thou shalt be lord of it, and I'll serve thee.
How now shall this be compassed? Canst thou bring me to the party?
Yea, yea, my lord, I'll yield him thee asleep, where thou mayst knock a nail into his head.
Thou liest! Thou canst not!
What a pied ninny's this, thou scurvy patch! I do beseech thy greatness, give him blows!
Trinculo! Run into no further danger! Interrupt the monster one word further, and by this hand I'll turn my mercy out of doors and make a stockfish of thee!
Why, what did I? I did nothing. I'll go farther off.
Didst thou not say he lied?
Thou liest!
Do I so? Take thou that as you lied! Give me the lie another time.
I did not give the lie!
A murrain on your monster, a pox on your bottle, and the devil take your fingers.
Now, forward with your tale. Prithee, stand farther off. Stand farther. Come, proceed.
Why, as I told thee, 'tis a custom with him i' the afternoon to sleep. There thou mayst brain him, having first seized his books, or with a log batter his skull, or punch him with a stake, or cut his weasand with thy knife. Remember first to possess his books, for without them he's but a sot, as I am, nor hath not one spirit to command. Burn but his books. And that most deeply to consider is the beauty of his daughter. He himself calls her a nonpareil.
Is it so brave a lass?
Aye, Lord, she will become thy bed, I warrant, and bring thee forth brave brood.
Monster, I will kill this man. His daughter and I shall be king and queen. Save our graces! And thyself and Trinculo shall be viceroys. Dost thou like the plot, Trinculo?
Excellent.
Give me thy hand. I am sorry that I beat thee, but while thou livest, keep a good tongue in thy head.
Within this half hour will he be asleep. Wilt thou destroy him then?
Aye, on mine honour.
This will I tell my master.
Thou makest me merry. I am full of pleasure. Let us be jocund. Will you troll the catch you taught me but while ere?
What is this same?
This is the tune of our catch, played by the picture of nobody.
Mercy upon him!
Art thou afeard?
No, monster, not I.
Be not afeard. The isle is full of noises, sounds, and sweet airs that give delight and hurt not. Sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about mine ears, and sometime voices that if I then had waked after long sleep will make me sleep again. And then, in dreaming, the clouds methought would open and show riches ready to drop upon me that, when I waked, I cried to dream again.
This will prove a brave kingdom to me, where I shall have my music for nothing.
When Prospero is destroyed.
That shall be. By and by, I remember the story. Come, Trinculo, let us sing, and after do our work.
We be three poor mariners, newly come from the seas. We spend our lives in jeopardy, while others live at ease. Shall we go dance the round, around, around? And shall we go dance the round, around, around? And he that is a bully boy, come pledge me on the ground, the ground, the ground.
Ladies and gents, there will now be a 15-minute interval. Thank you very much.